this guy actually took my family, with no kids at that time, 2 years ago, to this crazy bukid place. It's just wilderness. It's all grass and trees. And then we got there at 6 o'clock in the morning. We were sitting on this, like a wood, a piece of wood, in this small bahay kubo that's here about this big. And then Tito June comes in with a thermos of hot coffee and a brown paper bag of pandesal. The whole family, we sat down, we started eating our pandesal and our coffee, and this guy started talking. I was sitting there, I didn't know what we were doing there, and he started talking about building a tree house, building a place, a farm for his grandchildren to play in. This place will be the next generation place, like a Knott's Berry Farm, where everyone would love to go and visit. So I was like, are you kidding me? This is just trees and grass. And this guy's talking about that. And then 2 years later, which was a couple of months back, I was just there in May. It was my second time to visit this place called Enchanted Farm. So I was driving, I didn't know what to expect. I drove up and my jaw dropped. I saw this paved road going in, a gate open, and they have they have buildings, establishments on the right. They have a community center on the left. They have this aircon area on the far end. They have this amazing bamboo palace on the far end. You can't miss. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I mean, when people talk about GK, they can comprehend what slums turning into a GK village really is. I was fortunate enough to see the beginning, where it was just all trees, grass, and dirt. And 2 years after, this guy transformed this amazing place to the most beautiful place that my kid, my son, loved to play. Because we woke up in the morning, we spent the night at Enchanted Farm. We woke up the following morning, and my son, who was 2 years old, was walking around playing with the chickens and ducks. Never in America that will ever happen. I saw him running around playing with them, and it was the most unbelievable feeling I've ever had in my life. So this guy taught me, people say, dream and dream big. But this guy actually showed me that when you dream big, you have to put the dirty work and the hard work. 5 o'clock in the morning, he's up. The car's ready to go. Every day, I mind you, there's 6 interns and EAs waiting outside the house at 5 o'clock in the morning. And he's up there driving to the farm. He showed me that you can't just say dream and dream big. You gotta put in the dirty work, buddy. If you want this dream to be a success, you gotta put in the dirty work. I'm honored to introduce this man. You call him TM, you call him the guy with the white hair, you call him Tony. I am fortunate enough to call him Papa. I'd like to introduce Mr. Antonio Melon.
I have nothing to say. My son-in-law said it all. So I guess it's just time for me to drink and dance and party. Is that okay?
No.
We had amazing and inspiring speakers tonight for an amazing crowd. We had the best entertainers tonight. It just shows the talent of the Filipinos. Somehow God just poured it all in the hearts and the vocal cords of all Filipinos. But tonight I'm here because I'm just overwhelmed with joy. Our dream to end poverty and corruption in our country is becoming a reality. Last week, I was the proudest Filipino in the planet. With what happened in the Philippines, I can now hold my head high and show the global community that I come from the land of the honest.
Yes.
as a Filipino, to be able to live with honor through hard work, through the honesty and sincerity of the most ordinary Filipino. But last week, I am so proud that I have an honest president. And more than anything else, I think Filipinos all over the world should realize that is important. Now, tonight, I have here the company of a dear friend who saw it all. And he saw Gawad Kalinga before a few of the CEOs in the Philippines did. But he saw the honesty of ordinary Filipinos, everyday heroes, who would go to the most remote areas, who would go to the slums. And he even went to the NPA areas of the Mangyans in Mindoro, in Bulalakaw, just to bring his people and show them that we are not afraid of our own people. He even went with me to the slums of near Payatas to transform a dangerous place that we entered in 2004 because the informal settlers, the squatters in the area, beheaded 2 of the foresters at the La Mesa Dam, simply because there were 200 squatter families whose homes were demolished. But he built his own village there, and he went to the NPA area again of Southern Leyte after the big flood. I'm referring to our ambassador to the United States, Joey Quisha. And he's here tonight as a friend of people who love my country and are willing to build it through honest sacrifice. And it's not only Joey, but his beautiful wife, Vicky, was the head of the Gawad Kultura of Gawad Kalinga until she was called to provide him support here in the United States. But thank you for staying up all night. I know that the Secretary of Foreign Affairs has been calling you all night. And we forgive you when every now and then you would disappear to prepare for the President's visit next week. Hindi ba dapat lahat ng Pilipino sa Amerika magpasalamat na finally, we now have the respect of the global community because we have an honest leader. And that's important because trust is important in this life. Gawad Kalinga grew because the Filipino Americans, the Filipinos in the US who left our country because of corrupt leaders, because of incompetent leaders who could not address corruption. You left the country because of the lack of opportunities. But with your hard-earned money, you decided to trust Gawad Kalinga and build 300 Gawad Kalinga communities. And that led other organizations to follow your example. We now have over 2,000 Gawad Kalinga communities. Thank you for your trust. I know a lot of you did not buy the 10K because you had to build GK. I see less sparklers and blinklings here tonight because they're now feeding the hungry and providing homes for the poor in our country. Let's give a hand to the hardworking Filipinos for showing the way. And what has happened? Because of that, we were able to gain the trust of 2 of the most disruptive citizens of our country, Boy Saigon and Boy Montelibano. In Goan. They were there when they deposed Marcos. They were there when they removed Herap. They're always removing people. Kasi it has been our habit, if you don't like somebody, puro ibagsak. With Gawad Kalinga, puro itayo. Okay? Because Gawad Kalinga is love for country fueled by love. By its passion for the country fueled by love. But in the past, we tried to change through revolution, through militant activism, but it was also passion fueled by anger. And that was a path of conflict, and we didn't want anyone, and we didn't want that. But now we just keep on now building on trust. Tony Onais had nothing to do with his country, but he had his epiphany, he had his road to Damascus experience, he had his Isaac moment when he saw Gawad Kalinga. And now he calls himself Filipino again, the born again Filipino. Jonathan, where is your lovely wife? Belize, the wife of the CEO, the country manager of Peninsula. She spearheaded the first GK Hope Ball in the Philippines and raised 8 million in one night. In the second year, she raised another 6 million. But that's not important. Money is, definitely is a big help. But what is important is the motivation to raise that money. And I was there with Belize when we went to Sulu. And how many Filipinos are not afraid to go to Sulu? But Belize was there. Because we are building Gawad Kalinga communities in the Abu Sayyaf territories. And all the money that she raises going to Sulu. It's not just to build homes, but to build a water system, to provide schools for them. And now Sulu is also growing not just because of the communities we're building, because we're now building sustainable livelihood for them. We are now buying coffee coming from Sulu, and Gawad Kalinga has put up now our Center for Social Innovation, so that we will be able to sustain the development of our communities through social enterprises. And if you see our Sulu coffee, it is the strongest coffee in the world. It is called Sulu coffee only for the brave. And it's unique because it comes from the Abu Sayyaf territories. And we can only harvest when they are not there. But again, even the Abu Sayyaf trust us. When we were there, the mayor, the leader of the Tausug community, I was with Boy. In front of 1,000 Tausug people, mostly men, he told the whole community, as long as I live, no worker of Gawad Kalinga will be harmed in Sulu. Because they are now family to the Tausug people. And the Muslims learn to trust us. And to me, that is the brand of GK, a brand of trust. And we are now building also a legacy of hope to the country. You're all, hope weavers and dream builders. There are just so many of you who have led the country to what it is now. During the dark ages, before the present administration, when there was no hope, I draw my inspiration and I draw my light from the Filipino Americans. Because you never stop hoping for our country and you never stop caring for our people. Many of you have helped us to understand what heroism is. That love for country is not about distance. That love of country is not even about color of skin. Love of country is not even about legal citizenship. You have shown us that anyone who loves the Philippines is a Filipino. And anyone who plunders our country, who destroys our environment, who causes the suffering of our people, they should be sent to Siberia, or maybe to Hague, or some other places in the world, where they can also, when they can be transformed. But the thing here is this: the Filipino has become a global family. Over 12 million Filipinos. For a while I thought that it was, that we were lost as a nation because we lost the brightest and the best of our people. But that is to me amazing is that now the Filipinos have created a global network. The Filipinos now have global influence. Every 3 months I go to Europe, and it is simply amazing now that Gawad Kalinga's call for social justice, following the path of peace, has been what Europe has fought for in the past centuries. They even had to cut off the head of the royalty just to be able to bring social justice to the land. But now, the Filipino, in his search for justice, in his search for opportunity, is now making a positive influence wherever he is in the world. And now, the time has come for us to use all of the experience, all of the successes, all of the expertise, all of the influence that we have gained all over the world to help bring our country out of poverty. We have one singular dream to end poverty in the Philippines by 2024. And I have one request from all of you. Do not die until 2024. But as an advanced celebration, because it will definitely happen. It will definitely happen. And all the stars are now aligned simply because you are all aligned with our dream, with our hope, with our faith, with our aspiration. And for us to really honor the giver of such a beautiful country to us, we want to build a first world Philippines and a first-class Filipino. We want to build a nation that will honor God. We want to show the world that it is a gift to be a Filipino. That it is a privilege to be a Filipino. That this is the best time to be a Filipino. We want you to see that the Philippines is now the next miracle of Asia. And last week's report, that our GDP rose to 6.3. We are now second highest in Asia. After China. And when we came, this whole team with me, they joined us when Gawad Kalinga received the Global Award as Social Entrepreneur of the Year from the Skoll Foundation. It's a foundation started by the founder of eBay. And they gave us the highest award in the world for social innovation. This is the Skoll Award. And with it came $1 million, the same as the Nobel, the prize money for the Nobel. And that is all because of you. That is a victory that is as important as the victory of Pacquiao in the ring. Or maybe more important, because it involves hundreds of thousands of Filipinos. That is an achievement that we can be proud of. While we are proud of Jessica Sanchez, that is the achievement of Filipinos in the Philippines, in the United States, wherever they are in the world. That is our collective achievement. And it is not enough that we just rejoice in the shadow of the individual achievement of outstanding Filipinos. But tonight we're here because we are celebrating our future. HSBC made a report, and this happened when I represented Gawad Kalinga at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. Because we also won a social entrepreneur of Ernst & Young last year, of Schwab Foundation on the World Economic Forum. But this was the report that was made, that according to the HSBC chairman, based on their prediction and forecast, that the Philippines will be the 16th biggest global economy by 2050. Morgan Stanley was a bit more conservative. They said it will be the 17th. But what amazed me was the report that by 2035, the economy of the Philippines will surpass Canada. So what's the point in migrating to Canada if the Philippine economy will surpass Canada? What we're simply saying, this is now the Asian age. Our moment in history has come. And it is time for the first generation Phil-Amps to spend half of the year in the Philippines. And share all your expertise, all your education, all your experience to help us rebuild the country. Last night, I was just simply inspired by Primo, Andres, and Sita Yoro. They were showing their villages. Para bang pinagmamalaki ngayon you know, how you have made a difference in your town. And I'm sure that's how the Macabales feel. I'm sure that that's how the Bukas Loob sa Diyos groups feel. Many others that I can hardly mention tonight. But we are now proud to be Filipinos. We are going to end poverty, not through foreign aid. We're going to help to end poverty in the country because we love our country. Loving the Philippines is an expression of our love for God. Loving the poor Filipinos is an expression of our love for God. If we do not love our country, we do not love the poor, God. If we do not love the poor, we do not love God. Or we love Him less. I don't know how you see it in the face of your own faith. But I honor the two greatest gifts that God has given me. That I am a Filipino and I am a Catholic. And I want the Philippines to be the first Catholic country in Asia that will rise from poverty. That is a dream, and that will happen if we walk the talk. We are overpreached as a country and overpromised by politicians. That's why I like my president, because he's a reluctant president. He is not a politician who lusts for power, and he will not run beyond 2016. Don't you realize how important that is? That it is not we're blessed that we have good leaders, but it is important that we have good citizens. That every Filipino now can make a difference. I challenge all of you to continue loving the country by going back to the towns where you come from, back to the poor that you have left behind. And not just every time. And the second challenge I have, bring your children with you.
Yes.
Bring your children with you. Because the future of the second generation Filipinos in America might be in Asia. With the emergence of Asia now as a global power, your children will have the best of both worlds. They have the best of America and they will have the best of the Philippines. We have over 12 million hectares of unproductive land. Baka mapunta na yan sa Koreano, mapunta na yan sa Singaporean. It's about time that Filipinos become wealth creators in the Philippines rather than job seekers abroad. It's about time that Filipinos will be producers in the Philippines rather than just consumers of contaminated goods from other countries. It is about time that we raise a new generation of Filipinos who will not just be good professionals or good politicians. We want our schools to graduate patriots. And so tonight, we want to honor all the patriots. They are here. Those who support Gawad Kalinga are everyday patriots. And I want you to help Tony Olares. He's the chairman of Gawad Kalinga. We have an amazing board. Please help him bring the spirit of Gawad Kalinga to the next generation. Yun din ko challenge sa Seafood City. Ang kumakain doon, yung mga first generation lang. But we have to encourage your children to go to Seafood City. Now, because Seafood City has been supporting Gawad Kalinga ever since. Whenever there was Typhoon Nondoy, they would already be the first to give us, and they have been promoting Gawad Kalinga. But the thing here is this: your love for our country should not end with you. But then the most important thing, many of you may have left the Philippines because you were disgusted with corruption, because you saw no opportunities. But now, I want you to send your children because you're proud of the Philippines, that it will be the rising star of Asia. And we're getting to this point because of your faith. You did not give up on our country. Kaya po, ngayon, huwag natin iwanan ang Pilipinas. Come to the Philippines. Huwag na kayo pumunta sa mga luxury cruises sa ibang bansa. Gastos na yan. Mag-luxury cruise kayo sa Cebu. Dadalhin ko kayo sa Palawan. And go to the Enchanted Farm. It is not only fun, but more fun in the Philippines. The Philippines is the best place to spend the rest of your life. Maraming salamat and God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen,